Auran Shereef show. We're going to talk about take action. Don't wait. This is what the episode is about. It's all about taking action. Don't wait for things to happen. You make it happen. So we're in the middle of the relaunch for Connects right now. It's kind of a late night recording, but I want to give a little talk about a question I get a lot. And I've noticed this from a lot of people, but you want to be successful in life, take action, do things, make it happen. Don't wait around and think, I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'll send this email tomorrow. I'm going to call this person tomorrow. I really want to start this business, or I really want to meet this person or celebrity or something, and I'll just do it next year. I'll just do it next month. Don't do that. Take action. I would say a small percentage of the reason why I'm successful is I take action. There's the reason I'm successful. I have layers of habits and conditioning that I've been trained for by Bob Proctor and Tony Robbins. My habits, discipline, consistency, taking action is one of them, focused on goals and discipline. But the talk we're doing today is about taking action, okay? Pat yourself on the back. You're taking action by listening to me talk about taking action. Hopefully after this talk is over, you take action on something you want to do. Take action on applying to jobs. Take action on going to the career fair. Take action on putting your money in Robinhood and buying Bitcoin, or putting money and buying stocks. Maybe take action on learning AI. You could even type in ChatGPT, how do I learn AI? And it'll tell you. So, life is about taking action. The world is cruel to overly shy people that don't take action. One of my mentors, Ty Lopez, told me about that, and he's currently going through a lawsuit, I think, with the SEC about some investments he did. But hey, he took a risk. Anytime you take risks, something might happen. Better to take a risk and fail than just regret. You could have done this, but you just didn't. You didn't take any action. So if you're listening to this podcast, and if you're cleaning, you're driving, or you're just simply sitting and listening to me talk, remember what I'm telling you. Take action. Do stuff. Make things happen. Don't wait around and think this person will call me and I'll talk to them. It's interesting. I tell a lot of people this. I might even do an entire talk about this. It's a little bit messed up and it's not my ideas, but at the end of the day, like in life, my opinion is I don't think anybody actually cares about you at all. Maybe your parents care about you and some family and your close friends, but everyone else doesn't actually care about you as a person. No one cares. And I was talking to my other friend about this at a dinner, and she was so scared to contact this college to talk to the admissions department to get in. And I was like, let's just say her name was Jessica. And if anybody whose actual name is Jessica, it's just a random name I picked. But I would say, Jessica, these college admission people, they don't care about you. They don't know you. Like, nobody cares. So what do you have to lose by calling this admission department or calling this place and, making friends with the admission director and trying to increase your chances of getting into this specific school? Or same thing with the job. Talking to the hiring manager or recruiter, take action. Call them, email them. And remember, you're starting at the foundation of they don't even care about you. They don't care if anything happens to you. I know it's messed up, but it's true. No one cares about anything you're doing or who you are as a person. So knowing that no one actually cares about what you're doing, what you look like, etc., you can feel free to just go in there and ask for what you want. I think that's half the reason I'm successful is I have a lot of confidence that I self-built. But I also fundamentally understand no one actually cares what I'm doing. I mean, I think some people care about what I talk about now that I'm a I'm a voice of reason and a soundboard for people and inspiration. So people really do people really do care about what I talk about, and my talks and voice carries weight. Hopefully this is helping you now, but remember my words. No one cares about what you're doing, and that should make you have the feeling of, oh, since this person doesn't even care what I'm doing, I might as well just call them or ask for what I want to ask for, because they don't care anyway. So what's going to happen? I think a lot of the reason specifically you might be unsuccessful is you're thinking too much that the other person is thinking about you, and they're not. They're not thinking about you. I'm specifically thinking of you now in this call, but 90% of the world doesn't care. So knowing that no one actually cares about what you're doing, who you are, you should feel free to just be like, well, if this person doesn't even care about me, what does it matter if I ask him for a job? What does it matter if I ask him for a little bit of money? What does it matter if I go to this college I really want to go to, A lot of life is about asking for what you want. You have to ask. You have to say, like, I want this. Like, can you give it to me? Like, when I was growing up, and I wanted to work at some companies, I would ask. I wouldn't beg, but I would ask, firmly, I'm really interested in this job. I'd like to work here. And many times I got rejected. No, we're not hiring. We can't hire you. We're full. And I'm like, I don't care what you're saying that you're not hiring. I don't care. I want to work here, and I will find a way. I'll meet a coworker. I'll find a current employee. I'll convince them. So my mindset has always been so clear and determined. What I really want, I get every time. And if you think back in life about all the stuff that you've done in your life, and you really, really wanted something, you got it. Strange, right? How did you get it? How come you really wanted something and you got it? Like, you really deeply desired like a new car, or you really wanted some new clothes or something, or you wanted to go to that concert but you didn't have enough money. And somehow magically you just were able to summon up the money to go to that concert you wanted to go to, or go to that place, or meet that person. So anytime you really want something, you somehow are able to get it. So use that mindset of, what do I really want? And then you really focus on attempting to get it. And like I said at the beginning of this talk, take action. Go after it. Do it. Take it from me, everybody. Time is very short. I survived a heart attack. I survived a motorcycle accident. I've survived multiple business failures. I've lost everything. I've lost all of my money, and I made it back. And then I lost it again, and then I made it back. So I have survived multiple seasons of things. We've survived COVID. We basically survived World War III. That was supposed to happen. It didn't happen. So, there's seasons to life. There's ups and downs. But if you're just persistent and consistent, you'll eventually reach your goal or your dream. But you got to make sure you're going after the right goal or dream. My mentor Bob Proctor told me, most people go after what they think they can achieve. They don't actually go after their dreams. They just think they can go after this thing or that thing. So I'm very blessed that I learned from Bob, how to unlock your mind and really go after whatever you want. That's the most powerful thing I learned from him. I'm going to do another talk about my top lessons from Bob Proctor, because somebody was asking me about, what was the deal? Like, how did he change my life? And there's so many different things about that. So we'll do a talk about that later. But to stay on track about taking action habits, I think if you just start now, why don't you just start now on this talk? Start now to take action. In fact, think of something now you've been wanting to do. You wanted to go to the gym. You wanted to, call that person or go to that career fair. Why don't you just do it? I give you permission to do it. I'm telling you to do the thing you really want to do. Play this audio back and listen to me say this to you. Imagine I'm standing in front of you and I'm telling you, listen, I know you really want to do this thing. I think you should do it. Go after it. Go after the thing. As long as it's safe and legal and it's helping people, do it. But if you're planning on doing something evil or bad to people, don't do that to anybody. I don't recommend doing that. I'm talking in the context of inspiration and doing positive, impactful things to people that would help them. So if you have any ideas that you're going to help people in some way, go after it. If you have any ideas to improve your life by going to the gym or eating healthier, do that. Start now. This talk is about taking action on things and doing things sooner than later. And stop thinking you're going to live to 100 or 90 or 80 or 70. You don't know. You don't know when you're going to die. I didn't know I was going to have a heart attack at 34. Strange. I didn't know I was going to discover a genetic disorder. Yay, lucky for me, genetic disorder. But I don't think woe is me. I immediately think of a solution. What can I do to correct my genes and do gene therapy and CRISPR-Cas9, which is a kind of innovative way to edit and alter your genes? I'm an engineer. I just think of solutions to problems. I'm naturally hardwired to do that. But if you're not an engineer and you're not hardwired to do that, you can still have the ability to think of problem solving. How do you solve these problems? So one way to solve a problem is to take action immediately and get it done. Don't wait around for things to pile up. I don't know, your bills, or you're supposed to do something email. You need to email the guy you met today or the girl you met yesterday, but you keep waiting till the next day. Or you're supposed to call that person, but you're going to call them later. Don't call them later. Just call them right now. And if you want to do something, stop this recording, take action, and do the thing you're trying to do, and just stop listening to me right now and go do the thing. Really. Stop this recording and go do the thing you've been wanting to do. You're listening to this talk because you want to be inspired to take action. Why don't you just do it now? Come back and listen to this later. In fact, I'll give you a few seconds. I'll count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, great. Did you call that person? Did you email the person you're supposed to email? Did you stop the recording and do that? If you didn't, rewind this and do it again. It's funny. I thought of this phone recording thing because when I was in my 20s, I used to drive from Santa Clarita to Palmdale when I was working as a manufacturing engineer for Northrop Grumman. It was a great job, actually. I liked that job. I have nothing bad to say about Northrop Grumman. It's a great company. It was one of my first jobs I got out of college. But I used to listen to the Tony Robbins Awaken Your Giant Within tapes in my car. And I had a really long hour-and-a-half drive from Santa Clarita to Palmdale. It was at 5 a.m. I was working 410s at Northrop Grumman, so I'd work 10-hour shifts. I'd get to the factory at 5 or 6 in the morning. I'd work the whole day, and at 7 p.m. I'd get out of the factory. I was really tired and late. I drove back to my rented house I had. It's not my house. I just rented a room in someone's house. So I've lived that life of hard, grinding life. And if you don't like the word grinding, go back to the podcast I talk about relax into wealth. The relax into wealth is much better than grinding. So stop saying I'm grinding. It doesn't sound good. Say relax into wealth instead. You have to be very careful with the words you use, your inner dialogue. What are you saying to yourself every day? Are you saying you're sad? You're depressed? Are you letting outside circumstances affect your inner thinking? Don't do that. Take action. Control your inner world, and your outer world will follow. If you're wondering, how did I learn all these interesting concepts and things like that? I learned it from Bob Proctor. If you want to learn even more stuff, check out his YouTube channel. Check out what he's doing, with some of the content. Bob passed away maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but his son Brian and his wife Linda, they kind of picked up the torch. So if you want to learn more about the techniques and the things I learned with Bob, just check out his channel. Go to Proctor Gallagher Institute or Bob Proctor and look at him. A lot. I want to say a lot of my success attributed to, I would say, my mindset. I wasn't born into a rich family, but my parents did encourage me to do business and engineering. But meeting Bob Proctor was probably the most significant turning point in my life. Like, that was it. I was 26 when I met Bob Proctor. And funny enough, Bob was also 26 when he met Earl Nightingale and changed his life. Bob was, like he says, like stuck in debt. He was sweeping floors. He really had dead-end jobs, and then magically he just became a rich, successful, famous person. But how did he do it? And he keeps attributing to that book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and the principles in the book of how to achieve success. So I had very serious mindset coaching personally by Bob at his house. Like that in itself is a miracle. It's a miracle that I even was able to be close to someone like that powerful and helpful. And I didn't even know how badly I needed his teachings. I mean, I was really lost in life. I was broke spiritually, financially, emotionally. Every area of life, I was broke. After meeting Bob, it completely changed. I became rich spiritually, financially, emotionally, and mentally, and everything changed. So I highly recommend his books, his teachings, etc. And I've kind of packaged his material into my own material and my own books, courses, and teachings and stuff like that. So, Bob was one of my closest friends. I can wholeheartedly say I love Bob Proctor and what he taught me, and I am eternally grateful to him, and I will continue to honor him and his legacy. And his family, I love his family too, Brian, his son, Linda, and everyone else, really great people. So, but to go back at what I said at the beginning of this talk, take action. That's what I did. How did I even get Bob on the phone? Funny enough, go back and listen to my phone call with Bob and me on the phone. I was smart enough to record it. And he even says in the call, like, listen, Auran, if you come to the Matrix program, I'll guarantee you'll know exactly what to do with the rest of your life. And I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. You just said that. He's like, yeah, and he said very specifically right before he hung up the phone call, he goes, just make a decision if you want to do it. And you need to get a passport or something like that. But to go back, he says, make a decision. And maybe I'll do another talk about decision making. It's very important. But, he hung up the phone. I was talking to his coach, Arash. And then when the phone hung up, I'm just sitting in my car thinking, wow, I have an opportunity to meet Bob Proctor. I have an opportunity to change my life. And guess what I did the next day? I took action. And I mean specifically, I went to a bank. I got a lien on my car. My car was worth approximately $15,000 at the time. It was a 2006 Infiniti G35 6MT, not a convertible, it was just a coupe, but it was top of the line edition, maybe like 50, 60,000 miles on it. It was a manual. It was a nice car. Sometimes I miss it. But I went to Mariner Finance. The branch manager at the time, Ashley Hungerford, she approved my loan to get the loan to go to Bob's program, which coincidentally, $15,000. So funny how that all worked out. The exact amount of money I needed, I got it. And that's what I said earlier. Anytime you really, really want something, somehow magically you get the money for it. Isn't that strange? So strange. How does that work? I think, is that law of attraction maybe? So to go back to that story, I was also working as an assistant project manager somewhere. I had a salary. It's just my bills exceeded my salary. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. So, I had enough money to get approved for the loan. My credit was fair. It wasn't that good. It was fair. But it was just enough. But I needed collateral to get the loan. So when I went to Mariner Finance, they said, you have a job, you have money in the bank, your credit's okay, but we need your car, your nice Infiniti, and we'll give you the 15 grand. So like I said, I took a lien against my car, and a lien is like holding just look up what a lien means, but that means basically they hold the title to your car, and if you don't pay back the loan, they repossess your vehicle. And if anybody listening to this has had their car repossessed, it sucks a lot. If you only have one car and they take your car, it's really crappy. And that's why I started a car rental company also, to help people who've been in the situation or their credit is bad. You can rent with us at Connects Cars or Car Connects. So to wrap this story up, they transferred the 15 grand in my account like Monday morning at 9 a.m. And at like 9:30, I called back Arash Basugi. I said, Arash, I got the $15,000. I want to meet Bob Proctor, and I want to attend the 7-day Matrix program, which will change my life forever. That's a really large amount of money, everybody. $15,000. I mean, just think about this for a second. And if you're listening to this call and you don't even have $5 in your account, 15,000 is basically $1 million in your head. I mean, comparatively, metaphorically speaking. So, I mean, I had a job at the time, so I knew I could make the payments of $400 or $500 per month. But still, I mean, just to straight up wire 15 grand to somebody, you must be out of your mind. Or you're entrepreneurial enough and you understand this is an investment into my life and my future. This might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and it'll never happen again. And guess what? I was right. Bob Proctor, God rest his soul, he's gone. I can't go back and hire him again. He's not here anymore. He's maybe in the spiritual form, but not physically. So looks like hindsight 10 years ago, when I made the decision to wire the money, it was the right decision. I'm happy. The 15 grand I paid Bob originally, it was worth way more than that. It was probably worth $1 million. I think he actually undervalued his Matrix program by a little bit. I've probably paid Bob $250,000 over, I don't know, 6-10 years, attending conferences, events, buying his books, his seminars, his coaching programs, etc. But if you go back in history and you look at it, most successful people, guess what they invest in? Themselves. They invest in themselves. Go back and look at Warren Buffett. He's known as the Oracle of Omaha, and he talks about investing. He says repeatedly, the best investment I ever made was in myself. He bought a Dale Carnegie course on public speaking. He didn't like public speaking, but he bought it anyways, and he did it. So the best investment you're ever going to make is in yourself. Invest in yourself. Pay the money for the coach. Pay the money for the mentor. Make sure you do your due diligence. Don't just find some guy on Instagram or TikTok with millions of views and say, this is the guy. Look at his results. Look at his credentials. I mean, I think I got pretty good credentials. I studied mechanical and software engineering. I worked at NASA, I'm a DoD defense contractor. I built several companies. I was personally mentored by famous, legendary celebrity people. I've published 7 books. I've been on TV. I've been on magazines. I think I'm a credible source to listen to, in my opinion. And if you like listening to me, thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this podcast. I read the comments. I personally read the comments on YouTube. And my team does, but I like reading them too. So if you'd like to leave a comment and you had some very valuable insight or something, write down one key takeaway you heard from this talk. And the reason I'm doing these audio podcasts is, like I said, I don't know how long I'm going to be alive for. Hopefully forever, but nothing is forever. So, I like to do these talks to share my insight and wisdom with everybody. Success leaves clues. It's true. Success leaves clues. Look at successful people making millions and billions of dollars. They usually like to talk about how they pulled it off. I truly believe in my heart, nobody wants to live a crappy life. You don't want to be poor and sad every day. That's not what you're built for. Like, that's not your destiny. Your destiny is not to live this terrible, sad life. Your destiny is to live the life you really want. But most people aren't willing to risk and sacrifice what it takes to get there. It takes a tremendous amount of sacrifice to achieve your dreams. You can't just close your eyes, listen to this podcast, and the next day you got it. Now, it might be helpful to listen to this for inspiration during your tough times, and I'll probably do a video about how to survive tough times. But in the meantime, you have to keep going. You really just have to keep going. Another reason I'm successful is I don't give up, ever. I never, ever give up. I just keep going. And a lot of people just stop. So it's pretty easy to win and beat everyone else if everyone gave up and you're the only one that kept going. Looks like you win. You're the winner. Everyone else kind of lost. And I mean lost in the sense of the race of finances or the race of business or I guess in life. So winners and losers. I mean, I don't want to say like everybody's a winner or like you're a loser, but if there's a winner, there's a loser, and you want to be on the winning side. And if you want to be on the winning side, incorporate the habits and the routines and techniques of successful people that win. And I think Warren Buffett is right. People who are winning and they have money and they're rich, it really comes down to habits. Like, let me give you an example. When I was poor and broke, what were my habits? I woke up late, watched a lot of TV, played video games, spent all my money every single week. Every time I got a paycheck, I would just blow all my money on food and partying and etc. But I did that. Nobody told me, nobody convinced me. Those were my choices and decisions. And guess what happened? With those poor choices and decisions, I got poor results. So you want to change your life? Change your habits. Change what you're doing. Which brings me to the next topic. What are my habits? Let's talk about them. So before in the past, I used to wake up late, miss meetings, not show up, and be my authentic, real self. Now, I wake up early, I take care of my mind, my body, I read, I do my gratitude journal, I meditate, I eat extremely healthy, no oils, no refined sugar, no processed food, and no fried food. I have a bowl of oatmeal with fresh fruit every morning for the past 2 years. And then I eat 6 times per day green leafy vegetables like arugula, kale, bok choy, because I'm on my good friend Dr. Cadwell Esselstyn's diet to prevent heart disease with what happened to me. So I'm very consistent and disciplined in that, and one of the reasons I'm still alive, I'm on a fully plant-based diet. And again, if you do not have heart disease, you don't need to strictly become plant-based. You can supplement, not eating meat for a little bit with, being a little vegetarian. It's not going to kill you. So But what will kill you is extremely high processed food, fats, sugars, etc. That'll give you heart disease. I know, because I went through it. And in my opinion, I think I've already reversed my heart disease. Like the plaque in my arteries, I think it's gone down, actually. I feel better. So I like the plant-based diet. I got used to it. But going back to what I was saying earlier, taking action and disciplined habits, my other habits I have is I'm also very responsive by text or email. You know how when you're kind of like poor and you're broke and you don't have any money, you just don't text anybody back. You don't call anybody back. Probably because you're embarrassed. You don't have any money. You don't have anything to talk about with anybody. So why would you text anybody anything? I'm telling you right now, one of the biggest changes I made is I communicate much more effectively now. If I have a missed call, I call the person back. If somebody emails me or texts me or writes me on LinkedIn, I'll message them back pretty quickly. And that's a successful habit of a leader. If you're running a company or you start a business and your employees or customers are messaging you, you need to message them back immediately. You can't message back your customer the next day, then your business sucks. So you have to get in that habit of communicating more effective and then waking up earlier and following through. And again, same thing I said earlier, taking action on stuff. Take action on what you want to do. It's a big thing. Taking action is a really successful trait. I might even do a course about the top 10 most successful traits of successful people since I'm successful. And one of them is taking action quickly, making decisions quickly, and if ever, rarely changing them. And I just like, Ty Lopez, he's going through that SEC thing. He posted on one of his Facebooks, do not doom. Like, don't go into doom mode, DOOM. Like doom is me, woe is me. Like, he got slapped with that SEC thing, but he's not dooming and his whole life collapsed. He continues on. You fight whatever is happening with you, allegations, etc. Just stand up for yourself. But do not doom and think your life is over. Let's say you lost your mortgage, or your wife or your husband left you, or you had a heart attack like me. Don't doom and then get sucked into like a doom cycle and then just everything spirals out of control. Don't do that. Okay? The opposite of doom is hope. 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 And maybe you have hope now by listening to me talk. But, curate those feelings of hope inside you. There's always hope. There's always something could happen the next day. You know what I used to write when I was younger in my 20s before I met Bob and I was just like trying to become successful? I would write on a clean white sheet of paper, I would write, miracles are waiting to happen to me outside. Something like that. So I'll repeat it again. Miracles are waiting to happen to me outside. Or the miracles are going to happen to me outside. And I kept saying outside because not a lot of miracles will happen to me. I'm sitting in my room just thinking, like looking at myself. You need to go out there and take action and something might happen. So let's say right now you're really struggling, you're in debt or you're lost, or you don't know what to do with your life. Write that down. Miracles are waiting to happen to me outside. Write it down. Put it on a piece of paper, put it on the background screen of your phone, maybe text it to yourself, put it on a piece of paper in your bedroom or something. I actually had a wall full of inspiration. I used to wake up and look at words of affirmation saying, I'm amazing, I'm great, I'm powerful, I'm the best, etc. And I just kept looking at it every day and I'm like, wow, I'm really awesome. Like, look at all these amazing words. My wall is talking to me, and you have to do that. If you're surrounded by like family or like friends that like kind of talk bad to you, don't listen to them, number one. Number two, distance yourself from those people. And number three, find a new tribe of successful people that encourage you, that uplift you. You know, as I rose to success, my group of friends changed. I went from friends who were just kind of dragging me down with like just very negative habits and staying up late, playing games or partying too much. And my new group of friends, rich, successful, some of them are actual famous celebrities, which is amazing that I have friends that are famous celebrities now. But I didn't have that in the beginning. So it took time to curate relationships. But, you know, another successful habit trait is who are your friends? Who are you surrounded by? Who do you talk to every day? Are all your friends broke? Is everybody struggling around you? You might be in the wrong environment. You know, your environment has a big impact on your life. If you're living in a terrible neighborhood or crime-filled like area, that's you should get out of there. And if you don't have enough resources or you know, things to move, you got to find a way. You got to find a way to get out of there. How about you just go on the internet? Go on the internet, go on LinkedIn, go on Facebook, talk to people in different cities and different parts of the world and say, hey, you know, I really live in a terrible area. I really want to move. Like you live in you live in New York, you live in DC. Like, what's that like? You know, make friends online. Talk to ChatGPT if you're really struggling and say, I really hate where I live in the city and it's not helping me. Like, where do you think I should move? And ChatGPT will tell you based on your preferences. Like, yeah, you should move to this part of the country. This might help you, but be really careful about your environment. Sorry about that. You got to pick wisely. Choose where you live carefully. It could change everything in your life. So hopefully you guys found this talk helpful. Again, this was all about taking action, successful habits, and going after your goals and dreams. But again, step number one, do it. Do the thing you want to do. Take the action. Make it happen. Do not sit around and keep waiting. And if you're thinking right now and you just watched this entire talk and you're still thinking about doing it, please stop thinking so much about doing it and just do it. Even if you don't have enough money, just do it anyways. Even if you don't have enough knowledge, skills, resources, just do it. Just go for it. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to lose time and money. Guess what? You're going to lose time and money anyways. So might as well go for it, right? So hopefully this talk was helpful. You guys liked it. As always, please click the like button. So just move your finger over and click the little thumbs up button and just click it for me. And then click the subscribe button. Go ahead and click that. And then if you click on the comment box, give me a little emoji like a smiley face or a fire or something. Take action and support me by clicking the thing. This is called Call to Action, CTA. So if you want more of this, if you want me to keep doing talks, click like and subscribe, and then I will actually get paid by YouTube to keep doing more of these talks. Although I would do it anyways because I think I like to give out the free value in the game. But if you want to really, if you like what I'm saying, click on the buttons, click like and subscribe. And like technically you're paying me to keep talking to you about more wisdom, insights, and stuff I have. So I'd really appreciate if you would go ahead and click the subscribe, like button, and comment. And I'd love to read your comments. And if you think this was helpful, I'll do more. And remember, there is hope outside. There's miracles waiting to happen to you. And there's always another day. There's another day to try again. And do not doom. Don't think it's all over. whatever problems you're having, I promise you, they're not as big as you think they are. You know, you need to remove yourself from the situation and think back, and in hindsight, you'll think it really wasn't even that big of a deal. You kind of created all of the problems in your head. So please do not doom. There's always hope for another day. Things are going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And listen to me when I'm telling you. Take action on the thing you want to do. Thanks for listening, everybody. Stay tuned for the next episode.